What's up, everybody? Daytime edition Death Metal Podcast coming live from Finland. Sorry about the time difference on the flyer. I thought it was 6 hours. I guess it's 7 hours difference. What's up, everybody? This is the first time you're tuning in. I appreciate it. Death Metal Podcast coming live on Facebook, YouTube. We got special guests today. I was going to say tonight because normally we do this at night. And we do this in the United States. But tonight, we're going to be live in Finland. And I wanted to go live during the daytime so we could reach some more European fans. Because I know there are many death metal heads in Finland and Sweden and Italy, Greece, Germany, Denmark, UK. So we figured we'd go live during the day, and then maybe we could reach out and talk to other death metal heads in other countries. Because I feel that sometimes part of the heartbeat of death metal beats in Europe, not just in the United States. Personally, I'm even more of a fan, I think, of the European brand of death metal and probably black metal too, except for maybe Profanatica. So, what's up, everybody in the chat? Sunday afternoon of death. That's right. What's up, everybody? See the Maniacs checking in. Tim from Anal Cunt. That's how we get it. All right, so I got a couple guests. We're on here. What's up, Oscar from Ceremonium? We're on here to promote, and we're on here to just talk. So it's nothing too serious. Just death metal, bro. During the day, death metal shit. Instead of the middle of the night. Killer show? Yeah, we're gonna have a killer show today. That's right. I got my guests in the back room. What's up, Derek from Head Rot? What's up, Carl from Pius Levis Hod? A lot of death metal alumni come into the chat here. Damn, I get a weird signal coming through this fucking thing, bro. It's just for my own headset. Hell yeah, Ripikulu, if I'm saying it right. I love you guys. I have your demo. Bought it in 1991. What's up, Brian Sakula from Terror? You're the man. And that Badiat. All right, so anyway, enough baloney from Roy Fox talking. Death Metal Podcasts comes up to you live. Usually try to go live once a week on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, etc. We might have some special guests popping in. We'll see. But for now, I got a couple guests. We got two Maniacs of the Finland death metal scene. And then, we got Messiah Paratroopers in the chat. What's up? We got two Finland death metal maniacs in the back room here. They're not in the other room in my house. They're in Finland. So what's up? Let's say what's up to these two guys, man. We have IMMU from the FDMM, Finnish Death Metal Maniac Fest. And then we have Kina, who wrote the Finnish History of Death Metal book that pretty recently came out, maybe about last year, Rotting Ways to Misery. So I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with that. How's everybody doing today on this afternoon? Trying to go live in the afternoon a little bit. That way we have some guests from Europe on. You know what I mean? You guys all know, you guys know in the death metal scene that there's a lot of bands from Europe that I'm sure you guys love, man. So my Brad from Absconder saying, great book. Hell yeah. Cheers to Church of Disgust saying, what's up to IMMU?
Thanks. Yeah. Church of Disgust is fucking great band. I love them. Man. Also, they are fans of SLUGATHOR, so this is both ways.
Cool. So what's up, everybody? This is, like I said, this is the daytime edition of Death Metal Podcast. Fuck, these fucking Tascam earphones suck ass.
Okay.
Let me just take this off my one ear. So yeah, we're trying to go live more in like Europe and talk to bands in Germany, or today we're talking to bands in Finland, but we're really going to talk to IMMU about his fest and then his bands, and then we're going to talk to Kina about his book and about his bands, and then so what's up, Kinu? You're a little Kina. You're a little quiet down there.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, I got you.
But, yeah, about the book. It took like fucking 4 years to fucking complete the whole shit. I made over 600 interviews with all bands in Finland from the ground zero from 86 to today, and drove around the whole country. It's not a big country, but anyway, a lot of driving and hours, and when it's completed, it's like thank God it's been done. But now I'm working on 2 different new books about black metal, and
oh, cool. So are they specifically about Finland black metal, or are they about all black metal?
The first one is about only Finnish black metal bands, and not about maybe the bands, but more like the persons behind the bands.
Okay.
So it's going to be a different story and a different perspective. If you think about, bands usually give an idea of what kind of image they have on stage on their booklets or CDs, LPs, or so on. But these are stories what they do in their personal life.
True. Yeah, because
because
they burn down churches in their personal life, but they can't tell anybody, obviously, right?
Yeah. So it's pretty much that. And black metal guys they also have families, wives, and kids, and so on. So it's a story about people who are doing the music, which sounds aggressive, sounds pretty much like abnormal to people outside the scene, but what kind of persons they are in their personal life is totally different, and that's a story I want to tell.
Definitely, man. I noticed some differences, obviously, between just going to Europe one time. I noticed many cultural differences between the United States and Europe alone, So I'm sure in Finland, there's also cultural differences that are different even from Europe,
Yeah.
So, IMMU, let's talk about your festival.
Okay.
Basically, for years, I got some stuff to show here, not the big show. For years, you've been setting up a festival that's been pretty important to the Finland death metal scene. And then,
that's how I met Kenna, actually, because of my fest. I didn't know FESTERDAY that well before, but I was introduced to them by Antti of Cadaveric Incubator. And the first edition became this one. Somehow, just like, I don't know what happened, but everything clicked, and
this was it, right? This was the fest right here.
Oh, yeah, that one. You can put the poster on. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see the shirt too. With the shirt, shirt maniacs are here,
Yes.
Look at this shirt.
Oh, yeah, that's the T-shirt of my
the white version and the black version.
And this is the hoodie.
Nice. Okay. The hoodie. There you go.
So, I don't know. I just had this idea after I visited Killtown Death Fest in Denmark. First idea was to get bands like Demigod, Abhorrence, Demirich. most of those bands were not interested. Like Demigod was totally dead back then, and
Right.
even Antti of Demilit said first that no, we're not gonna return to the stages. But in the end, actually, Demilit decided to play, and I got some bands excited to play after all the years, like
Right.
Rippikoulu. This was their first reunion show, 2015, and Lubricant also reformed just for my festival. Depravity.
Gravity.
And
Depravity, yeah.
Festerday as well.
Yes. So all
So
those bands.
you guys didn't meet back at this show?
I'm a bit younger than Ken. I have to confess.
This poster is actually. Show me again that poster. This is the first festival I arranged when I was 15 years old.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So you set up this show, and you played in Festerday.
Yeah, and this is actually the first Impel Nazarene show ever.
Oh wow. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, because it has the old logo and everything.
Yeah.
When I first wrote to Impaled Nazarene, they sent me a letter back, and they said that I was the first person from the United States to ever write to them.
No,
So it was that far back. Yeah. They said, this is the first letter we ever got from the United States. I was like, cool, man. They sent me some photos. They sent me photos of that old logo. They had, maybe they had kicked somebody out of the band. So they wrote on the fucking photo. They said, this guy's a fucking poser. And they crossed his fucking face out or some shit.
I could
One of the members.
A photo, the Impel Nazarene vocalist, and we used to be good friends, not anymore nowadays, but the first photo from the vocalist of Impel Nazarene he sent me was when he was covered in blood masturbating.
Right. Yeah, I got photos of them naked as well, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, okay, so naked photos of males.
Yep.
Weird. Very weird. But I was already saw that with Profanautica, so I was like, all right, whatever.
Right.
This is how blasphemous we're gonna go. That's what it is.
Because you asked about my history, I think first death metal song I ever heard was by this band, Dying Fetus.
Dying Fetus.
And yeah, it's a weird one. I heard from Metal Elite program. I don't know if you can see.
It's a compilation, right?
Yeah, the demo compilation.
You see that all the time. It's always the compilations that get us into.
No.
Okay,
Roy, I explain you. I was listening to radio, and Klaus Flaming of Metal Elite program played the song of Dying Fetus demo on that radio program. But I didn't know anything even about the radio program itself. I just tuned something, from radio, and suddenly I hear Dying Fetus. And I had never heard something like this before. So for a long time, this was only one song that I even knew about death metal for a long period. I didn't know anything else. Okay, maybe later on I found D-Side, Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel.
Everything depends on a person's age. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like their age. I'm 49 years old, so I mean I've discovered certain things at an earlier age than someone that's 39 years old or 29 years old or
everything
20 years
happened so fast to me because in 1991 I heard bands like Nirvana and Iron Maiden. 92, so already in 3 years I was in death metal, and then 95 I was listening to black metal stuff. So of course my history is a bit different than yours, but anyway, I was kind of there already in the early 90s, just as a kid,
Hail to Finland. What's up, Francisco, for jamming out all badass? Yeah, of course, man. I mean, everyone, that's a fast progression now from you listening to Iron Maiden, and 3 years later, you're listening to black metal. I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yes, of course.
What's up, Patrick from Germany? I see Hideous Mangalus is in the chat. I see Phlegm guys are in the chat.
This is not Kena's favorite, but I saw you, Iron Maiden, Power Slave. I'm a diehard Iron Maiden fan, actually. I went
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I heard that album when I was young too, and I heard it I guess it was when it was coming out, and it was actually one of the earlier metal albums that I had heard.
Yeah, traveled to Canada to see them in 2019.
That's the last Iron Maiden album. That sounds good.
Okay, good. Then I saw the right one.
For me, it was I think after Somewhere in Time, then I was kind of like, all right, no more, you know?
Yes. Hey, Roy, it's exactly the same with my friends who are a bit older. Most of them say the same thing like you. But hey, it's okay. Let's not talk. I mean, I'm a fan of heavy metal, black metal, thrash metal. We can like kind of concentrate in death metal if it's the theme of tonight, you know.
What's up, Butch? Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, we talk about everything on Death Metal Podcast. I mean, there's people talking about corn on here sometimes. So I have to be like, whoa, what's that? Like, I don't even know what that is, you know?
Right.
Like, I had to go listen to it just to hear what it sounded like because I avoided it because I knew that it was corn, you know? It wasn't,
of course.
I'm probably not going to listen to it. And I put it on, listened to it for a few minutes just to check it out, and I shut it off right away.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, after Somewhere in Time, game over for what do you call it? For Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. Yeah, like I listened to that, but then I gave up on that. Frank Gamble. This is Chris Gamble from Agoraphobia's brother. Seventh Son. Yeah. What's up, Frank? Frank from Dripping here. We got Head Rot, Dripping, Hideous Mangalus. There's a lot of Cemeterian, Thy Feeble Savior, No Weak Shit Records, Phlegm, Ripikulu. A lot of bands joined us in the chat today. What's up, guys? Messiah Pyrotroopers. Hail Finland.
Yes, it's Rippikoulu.
Oh, Rippikoulu. Okay, I'm an American. You have to remember, so we can only go by what we see on the either in the fanzine or we see in the writing. So there's a lot of times when Americans are not going to pronounce the band things correctly.
Yeah,
sure. That's not what my copy looked like, though. It was on a cassette.
You have the demo, yeah. But anyway, that's kind of my favorite release.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. I didn't even know they had a second release for like years. Mark Mastro from Rochevore, I think, was the first person. He said, "Hey, they have another demo." You know?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I love.
There's a lot of. So let's go to Kina. There is a lot of this information laid out in his book. You know, I mean, really a timeline styled book of the Finland death metal scene. So I'm going to throw this up here. So you also had a partner on this too. I see Marcus.
Yeah, me and Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah, and I found your book. It was very written. That you were relying more on like the writings and the stories than you were the pictures. So I kind of appreciated that in a weird way because like it's nice to I appreciate all metal books, but I think some books are too filled with pictures and not enough like deep information. So I was really entrenched in the first couple chapters of your book where you're talking about like the thrash scene kind of evolving into the death metal scene, because a lot of that information for me as a person from the United States, you know, I didn't know too much about that. I had heard of like Air Dash, you know, I'd heard of a couple bands, but there was a lot of additional bands in there that I had never heard of. Were you involved a lot into the old late 1980s thrash scene, like either going to shows or just maybe as a listener?
I was pretty young when I started my first. Do you say in scene or sign in?
No, I'm asking if you were either listening.
Uh, some people say, about old school mags. It's a magazine, scene or sign.
Oh, zine.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
one?
no, I was asking about what I was trying to ask was so when your book came out, the Finland
Yeah,
Rotting
that's the
Ways to
point.
Misery, in the first early chapters, you're speaking a lot about the thrash metal uh, music scene, like the bands.
Mm,
So I was wondering, were you going to thrash metal underground shows at that age?
yeah.
You were. Well, what was something that you might have saw back then that
I was really, really young when I started out with doing metal in general. I was 12 when I started my first magazine, fanzine.
Right?
This was the point, scene or sign.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
And it
You were
was called
12 when you started that?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the first interview I did with Beherit, Impel Nazarene, and Blasphemy, and so forth. And
Cool.
still got those letters.
Yeah.
In those days, everything was, on paper.
Right.
And
Yeah, I still have my letters too from Holocausto and Black Winds and
yeah,
other Maniacs,
yeah,
I'm trying to remember the first person I would write to. The first person I wrote to the heaviest in Finland, I think, in my world, was Luxi.
yeah, Luxi, yeah.
Yeah, he wrote to me many times, would send, very unique handwriting too, and very cool letters with very cool drawings on them. And back then, obviously, we did not have internet. So the only time you could find out about a band is either through a fanzine, a small flyer, a
Bottle
letter.
letter.
Yeah, in the letter,
Yeah.
they would say like, "Hey, did you hear the new Morbid Angel album?" Like in the letter. And
Yeah.
it might have been out for like 3 months. It might have been out for 2 months, you know? Yeah. So, and then the letter at the bottom, it would say, and the US was probably confused by this. It would say, "Send back my stamps."
What's it called? IRCs. Back.
Yeah, well, they would ask us to send IRC to foreign country. The reason they did that, I guess, it meant that the foreign country would accept the IRC as postage, I guess, because they were like 80 cents if I remember when I first bought one. So it was like a stamp, basically.
Basically, yeah.
And
Anyway, but that was when the whole shit started, and I've been thinking, evolving, philosophizing about things about death metal since I was 12. And I'm
nice.
Cool.
now
That is fucking cool, man.
Yeah. Roy, I don't know if we can confirm this, and I don't know the date, but I asked Luxi and Sacred Crucifix to join you sometime. They both agreed that okay, they would like it. So then you can
I
have
would
a
like to have them.
really old school thing with those guys also. At
Yeah, I
some
would
point.
definitely like to talk to Luxy on here.
Yeah.
He helped me. He helped me get into a lot of bands from Finland.
Exactly.
By dubbing me cassettes and then writing
Yeah.
letters, and he would name off a bunch of bands.
I think I asked some contacts from him. I don't think they ended up to anything. Like he gave me some email to Funebre, but we all know that Funebre is not gonna return. They're not gonna play live and stuff. But at least I tried.
Yeah,
I mean, I had 25 bands on first edition of Finnish Death Metal Maniacs, and a lot of them were old. So
yeah.
of course,
That
that
flyer
was
is
not
ridiculous.
that was not all the bands I asked, because I also Belial, and I don't even remember all the names like Aether, Otter, and like really obscure stuffs. But
yeah, so I'm going to show that flyer again too, so we could talk about it real quick, because there's, I mean, some of the bands on here are phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, this was your first fest.
Yeah, well, I was been organizing gigs already prior to this. This
I
was
see
not
Kina's band on there too, FESTERDAY.
Yeah, FESTERDAY also played. They are below Artscope logo there, and well, for example, lubricant. We have a funny story for that, because Anssi from Prophetus band. How do you pronounce it? Prophetus. Prophetus. He just kind of knew their drummer. Like, was it the cousin or fuck? I don't remember. But we didn't know anything else. We just had this contact to the drummer of Lubricant.
Right.
And they were not gonna reunite. They didn't have any plan. But just because I wrote to them, I somehow got them excited. They still had mint condition records of their 12-inch EP lying on their basement,
Right.
And that explains a lot. But yeah, that was also kind of cool thing. And then Matti
and then
from
you had like Stench of Decay on there too, who were at the band. They were kind of new at that time, right? So they were of the new bands.
Yes, I haven't heard of them in a long time anymore, but I think.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard of them either in a long time.
Probably they quit like Swallowed, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Stench of Decay was one of my favorite of these newer bands that I really liked. I mean, their demo, their EP, that's some of the best shit from 2000s, I think, because it's really old school. Sounds like Abhorrence and all these bands,
Yeah.
But yeah, for example, Depravity, I found through the drummer, because he was the drummer in Korpiklaani, this folk metal band.
Right.
And I just wrote him, and they also didn't have any plans, but because I wrote him, he got the old guys excited to play again. And also the Elias, the Sonata Arctica guitarist, was excited to play some death metal stuff after 20 years or something.
Yeah, that happened to me with Necroharmonic, because we released we ended up releasing like bands like Interment from Sweden, and then Woombath, and then there's more too, and then the band's reformed, which I thought was cool. I was like, wow,
I have
pretty powerful.
I have some of your releases like this.
Yeah,
Derketa, Goddess of Death.
Yeah, the demos.
Good
Shout
stuff.
out to Sharon. Maybe Sharon in the chat today. Who knows? We're on her daytime.
Oh yeah.
I gotta block the.
Greetings. I don't know if he's listening to Bill of this man. He's a good friend of mine. We talk a lot.
I invited Bill into the. I invited Bill today. I think they might be doing practice right at the moment. So maybe when he gets off practice, he'll.
He can check this later. This
podcast. Or he'll check it later. He told me in advance. Maybe not, but I know Bill. He'll probably show up. Corpophilia and Putrid were reissued on tape recently.
Yep. And my first edition, we had also
fuck yeah, dude.
Artscope.
Fucking A.
And you know that actually Artscope guys
on CD.
Yeah, this is a re-release because it's a digipack. But actually, take a look.
Oh, you're locking up a little bit. Okay, I see his logos right there. What does it say?
No, like anti to
Anti-fashion, anti-mosh.
no, Mom. What was the label?
Anti
Necropolis.
Grishnock.
No, it was anti-Necropolis Records.
Oh, anti
Because they
Necropolis.
ripped off Arts Code, so they put this to CD release.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah, they
kind
put
of
like
funny.
the anti Grishnock symbol.
Okay.
No, actually, that was the Mayhem one. No fun, no core, no shorts or something, right?
No
Yeah.
more.
No mosh. Yeah.
But
How could I forget that?
Lord Angel Slayer and Ritual Butcherer of Art Code are really big fans of death metal, and
Cool.
they said personally, this is the maybe best lineup they ever played. 2015 edition of Finnish Death Metal Maniacs. Because those guys are, for example, huge fans of Lubricant. And they never thought they...
What,
yes.
Kino? Would you say, Kino?
Also, Kenna said that they are fans of Festerday as well. So.
Oh, Festerday, yeah. Cool. I see this. I had this too. It says pre-order, but this is old probably, right? Because this has been out. But is this available in the U.S., a Decibel store?
Yeah. It should
they sell that?
Sold out.
Sold out in there too?
Yeah.
So is there another U.S. distribution that released?
Well, actually, there is a Italian version and a Polish version and a German version coming out this year.
Okay, cool.
But that doesn't enlighten you guys in the States very much. But yeah, it was actually the most sold book in Finland 2021.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's amazing. That's great, dude. Yeah, that's this book too. If anyone hasn't gotten it, this is the U.S. version cover. I know.
The cover is better, actually.
You like the cover better on this one?
Yeah, I like it more. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have I'm sorry, his artist name is slipping my name.
I can tell it to you. It's
I just talked to him this morning.
yeah. Tony,
that's it.
Hietamäki.
Excellent book. Excellent book too. Congratulations. Best-selling book in Finland. Better than who's a Finnish pop star popular for Finland?
Archgoat.
No. He meant something like Anna Abreu, or Antti Tuisku.
Yeah, but the Finnish artists, which are top headliners, they're not known outside of Finland.
Yeah. What about this old show? I had dug this up in my archive. This is pretty early on in the day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Sentenced, Dictator, Impaled Nazarene, Belial. One of the members of one of the bands sent this to me. Maybe either Sentenced or Belial, maybe. I wrote letters with every Finland and Sweden address that passed my hands. If I saw the address in a fanzine, or if I saw it in metal, what's that UK metal magazine? They had the little thing with the tape trader section. So if it said Finland or it said Sweden, so I would send a letter over to like Demigod or something, and then I would buy the demo, and then I would send a cassette tape. I would send 2 IRCs. I would send $2. I was like completely obsessed with I would say, can you please tape me something from your area? Or can you tape me a live show, you guys? Or do you have any videos? Or, you know what I mean? So I was always like obsessive collector, wanting to hear music of good bands. So it was nice to write to those bands. Yeah, it was nice to write to those bands. Did you guys used to write to bands? IMMU, you're a little old. Yeah, you wrote to bands in the United States?
I wrote to some bands in the late 90s, like Goat Semen from Peru.
Right.
And US bands. I think I wrote to Crucifier, Gas Grant, the
Sure.
old drummer of Grand Belaski.
Yeah.
I wrote to, I saw it earlier. I wrote to Saran of Derketa a letter because I'm a huge fan. And, I don't remember all, but this was already like after that. Soon we only had the internet.
Yeah.
But
How about you? How about you,
I know.
Kinu? Am I saying it right? Kimu or Kinu? Sorry.
Doesn't matter. I started writing pen paling,
Yeah.
trading when I was maybe 10 or 11
Wow.
to bands like the first contact I ever had was pretty much with Beherit and Blasphemy. And I was writing with the label, which at that point was taking care of everything that Blasphemy was doing, Wild Rags with Richard.
Yes.
And then it evolved into Necropoly and so on with Paul. And I'm still in contact with these guys, even if those guys are not involved in the metal scene anymore. But we're still friends and we still keep up the contact.
Isn't that cool? That all these years later, international contact. You stay in contact with this person. I think that's cool too. And then once you put the layer of social media on it, it even got even a little easier.
Yeah. But then again, when the social media came in, it kind of disconnected you as, when it was more magical when it was letter time.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to this social media thing, because now it's easy to say, "What's up, man? Cool, man. See ya."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he wrote
You're
letters.
right.
It was like I fucking put hours on that letter and sent it, and he received it, and it took like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I got it back. It was like, wow, oh man.
Yes.
And now when you get a message from Century Media or Nuclear Blast, like, boring.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and you would say I used to write letters. I was trying to write a letter to somebody, just a friend, just because I was sending them a shirt or something from my record label. And when I was writing with my hand, I was like, damn, I don't even use my fucking hand to write anymore, basically. I used to write 3-page letters to people.
Nowadays, it's like, how do you write the letter L?
Yeah.
Because everything is on fucking computer.
I only know how to sign my name.
Yeah.
That's it.
We were talking previously about these thrash metal things, and that's where my life began, actually. I can show you.
Into the archive. Oh, has he got his pants on?
He has some fucking cool tattoos.
Oh shit. Look at this.
Hold on,
let me bring you on full screen. Nice toes.
No.
I see Venom. I seen a Venom tattoo on your leg. He's on his desk.
This is my right foot is only
Dark Angel, Anthrax,
Forbidden.
Hey, Venner, I don't know where you're at, but
Violence, Wehrmacht, suicidal tendencies.
Look at that.
And the left foot is the right foot is only US thrash metal bands, and the left one is only
Necronomicon from Germany, Running Wild,
Creator.
Crazy. On his feet, Sodom.
Left foot is only German thrash metal bands, and right foot is only US thrash metal bands.
That was a pretty sexy view. Thanks.
Roy.
I like those tattoos. Why did you put them on your feet? Just out of curiosity, so your
Back in the
parents
80s.
wouldn't see them.
Back in the 80s, when you had these kind of Reebok, skater sneakers.
Right. Whoops.
When we were kids, you wrote those logos on the sneakers.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I couldn't find those sneakers. So when I was turning 30, so I thought maybe I do my own sneakers.
Yeah, we did our. That's a great idea. You tattooed your own. We did. We had.
I was interviewed to the one of the biggest tattoo magazines in the States, Tattoo Magazine. They made an interview of me because of these feet.
Oh, cool! That's awesome.
I can also sew mine. I don't have to strip so much for them, but these are again out of death metal a bit. But yeah, it's the Russian Iron Maiden aria with colors and everything. And on my right hand,
here comes another one.
Yeah, Pokolgep Totalis metal tattoo.
See, starting at the top too.
Yeah, these are old records, 80s, 90s.
The XXX rated content from Finland.
And
this
Killer tattoos, says Brad from Absconder. He has an AF shirt, so I'm guessing he's into old Finnish hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this band from the States?
Sure. I've seen them live in 1988. Played with the Cro-Mags and Warzone.
Yeah. Cro-Mags.
And a couple of years later, they played a show with Carnivore, who was reunion with the original lineup, 1990.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes I would go to see shows with Agnostic Front and Biohazard when they were the demoed Biohazard, not the album one. And then I think I went to the show that they said we are the album Biohazard. And I went to the first shows where Carnivore became typo negative. They were called Repulsion. And
that would have been fucking amazing to see.
Yeah, and I bought the Repulsion shirt, and I sold that. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was amazing. It was amazing to see because it was at L'Amour too. And you know how, like in the early days, the first album, Typo Negative, went to L'Amour Saturday night. So I saw the first time they ever played that. It was killer.
I actually once organized a gig for Terveet Cadet. You know this band also? Finnish hardcore legends.
Who?
Terveet Cadet.
Oh yeah, sure. That was one of the first bands I heard from there, for the like punky hardcore thing.
Yes, punky. Yeah, it was like cooperation gig with Otto from Kuolema. Doing it with me in a small venue called Factory in Helsinki. But yeah, I started organizing metal gigs also about 20 years ago. First bands, I think maybe Gospel of the Horns. They were touring, and I organized a show for them, and then I was losing a lot of money, but didn't care. I was just a diehard fan. And then 2006, like Niflheim, me and my friend in Metal Warning, we brought them the first time in Finland, Niflheim. And yes, but even Manila Road and stuff like that, I'll be organizing a lot of shit. Also prior to Finnish Death Metal Maniacs. So
yeah, those are good, all good stuff. Cool bands, good stuff. And then you were organizing shows far back as 2006?
2001, I would
2001.
say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too far after. Like I had a little period of organizing shows. I did like the letter writing and tape trading. Then I did the fanzine. Then I did the show throwing from like in 1980. Oh, I actually threw a show in 1991 with Pain Eater. But then I didn't throw a real show, I thought, until years later, which was 1998. And then we would have bands like Mortician or Hearse, which is members of Crucifier, or Dimmock, which was members of Ripping Corpse, or Malignancy, Disciples of Mockery, a lot of stuff. Bloodstorm. Yeah,
Mortician. Mortician is amazing to me. I didn't know anything more brutal than them.
What do I think of the new? Somebody asked me a question. What do I think of the new generation of Finnish death metal? I love all death metal. So, I mean, the new generation I love just as much as the old one. I mean, obviously, I love the old one a little more because I've been listening to it longer. I noticed there's a lot of resurgence of people putting out cassette tapes now, which is, you know, the original demo version maybe of your Demigod, or, you know, I don't know, just different demos of old Finn tapes, Swedish tapes. Sometimes I collect those, and sometimes I don't even bother because I'm like, I already have this, or I have it 3 times. I have it on record, I have it on CD, I have it on tape. I mean, I don't know if I can go to the 4th time, you know.
This is can I introduce a band called Asphodelus. Their debut album, Stygian Dreams. It's really special, very different than all the other bands I know at the moment.
You know what? There's something we need to talk about, though, too. I want to bring it on screen. And I think you should really be the one to talk about this, because we have a little special announcement to make today. There's a lot of people watching this, too.
Just before you go, it's the same country, so I can throw this also.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. What you got?
Tiamat Clouds.
Oh, Clouds? I never listened to that one. I only listened to the other one, the first one.
Sumerian Cry, maybe.
Sumerian Cry.
Yeah, you should re-listen to Clouds, because I didn't know that it was such a good album until just a few years ago. And that band just I show you, Asphodelus, they have some same kind of vibe, you know, gothic, doom, death metal. Or it's not even death metal, but it's still heavy, like, you know, Paradise Lost, My Dying Bride, those bands.
Yeah.
Anathema from UK.
If it's heavy, if it has heavy parts and it doesn't get too weak, I will listen to it. But if it gets if it goes weaker than Thorgothan, then I'm not going to listen.
Yeah, I will link you.
The only heavy thing you have to listen to is Caius.
All right, fucking A. This man is this man knows. Yeah, Caius and Unida.
Yeah, fuck death metal. When you listen to Caius,
death metal.
Caius is the biggest thing I ever fucking noticed in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't need LSD, I don't need alcohol when I have Caius.
And the singer from Caius. Amazing.
Amazing.
Sing amazing for Caius, sings amazing for Unida, sings amazing for Chino Vista, right?
It's like Maynard Keenan from Tool.
Right.
One of my favorite vocalists ever.
It's good. I listen to that music too. So I'm not if you just listen to just death metal, it's boring.
Yeah.
So you have to listen to some other type of music. IMMU listens to Clouds from Tiamat.
Yeah.
So
what about Alice in Chains? Is this too soft for you?
No, I didn't like when it came out. Yeah. I liked Caius when it came out because my friend Nick Orlando, who wrote the music for Funebrarum and Evoken, I went to high school with him. So when Caius came out, Caius came out, throw that up again, my man.
Yeah,
that's my friend. That's my friend's band.
Should also say, I don't know if he's gonna listen, but Daryl, yes, I mean, yeah.
There was a fest before we get to the special announcement. There was a fest here. I don't know if I didn't show this. This is part 1.
Yes.
Hold on a second, though. Is this it? You did a fest where they played.
Yeah, on the second edition.
Okay, this is the second edition.
Yeah, and right in the middle, below the black crucifixion logo, and I got Death Strike to play only the old stuff. It was basically Master, but with Death Strike name. That was also really cool. But yeah,
right. A lot of killer bands on this, and a lot of bands that went on to do things. You have Fenrith, Sepulchre Curse, Undergang, Corpossessed. Did you get Inferia to reform for this too?
Yes, yeah. And they also played last year on the third edition of Finnish Death Metal Maniacs.
Also,
Inferia played the grinding porn grind set.
Also, I don't know if this band was live. Was Messiah Paratroopers out playing at that still stage?
Yeah, and they're gonna play at the fourth edition, like the next this year's edition. I mean, and I have an announcement to make, so maybe you can.
Yeah, now's the time. Hold on a second. Let's take this down. So yeah, there's gonna special announcement here on Death Metal Podcast. I'm not gonna yell the word exclusive of Francisco and Andy Jones will try to make a meme of me. So yeah, there's this coming, and this is news you're gonna only hear here for the first time. And what's up to my friend? So this is added to the Finnish Death Metal Maniacs Fest 4, Eternal Darkness from Sweden, playing, I believe, their second show
ever.
Not ever. This is gonna be their second reunion show, because the first one will be in Sweden, and the guys even came to play in Finland in the.
And here's 90s. The flyer too. Oops, wrong one.
This is the new.
This is the new flyer for the festival, and this is in July 2022. And you got Sadistic Intent, Pertinence, Messiah Paratroopers, Pestigore, and Eternal Darkness.
And Eternal Darkness too.
A lot of bands.
And if you take a look to the below, you also see Pestigore.
Yes.
Pestigore is also a new announcement.
We were trying to get Pestigore to join today.
Yeah. Peter, the drummer, he had too much hangover, so he couldn't, unfortunately, join.
That was the same excuse a lot of people from Finland said to me. I said, we're too hangover, I can't come out.
Happens. And Kenna and me know the best, because we both were in the last.
You're the only one in Finland who doesn't use booze.
No, but we were we were both part of this album, Azazel. I'm the drummer, and Kenna did. Again? Yep. Agrum Satanastecum. Yeah.
You guys play on this together?
Yeah. Kenna is doing some vocals, like backing up vocals on that one, and he wrote one lyrics to one song and so on.
Cool. Yeah, I brought up the wrong flyer before. I brought up this one.
That's the old story. What is the year? Is it 1992 or?
I think it's 92.
Do you remember? 92.
92.
And back then, I think Demigod and Sentenced were probably playing some of the very best death metal ever. I mean, ever. Okay, but at least Finnish. I think maybe the best to me is this period, 1992, 1993, and Kenna, because he's a bit older than me, probably he would say like Xysma and Amorphis. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyway, it's great to have a Swedish band with the Finnish connection.
Right.
Eternal Darkness. I mean, when they started, they were all with the Finnish names, Finnish surnames, because the city where they are from is Eskilstuna, and a lot of Finnish people moved to Sweden back in the day, So
Yeah, Jane or Yane or whatever from Eternal Darkness. He explained that to me. He said that there's only like 10 or 15% of his Swedish town is Finnish.
Yeah,
yes,
pretty much.
and he was the guest before on this death metal podcast.
Yeah, he was on Death Metal Podcast. He's a good friend, long-time friend. Good guy. Also straightening up. So yeah, I'm you said something about being straight. I am also straight of drinking for 10 years, maybe
Okay.
9 years. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. No more drinking for me. I
Same
do
here.
podcasts now to take up the time. Somebody's saying something about Distorted Harmony
Yes.
Records. Yeah, they put out that early Eternal Darkness 7-inch.
There is a similarity between Janne of Eternal Darkness and Satanakia Janne and Satanakia from Azazel, because they both like this drink.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not the 7.5 though. That's what.
No.
That's what
Janne was drinking really strong beer, and it could be heard also.
The 7.5, and my friend asked. He said, "What brand? What kind is that though?" He goes, 7.5. It says it right on the label. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, it should just say kills yourself. So for sure. So yeah, a lot of people in the chat reacting. Alice in Chains is the shit.
Nice.
Let's go back to if you can go back to Alice in Chains.
Sure.
Okay.
If you think about best records ever done, in my opinion, there are like maybe 5 records, which are, if you make a review from 0 or 4 to 10, how many records are 10?
True.
Alice in Chains, Dirt. Carcass, Reek of Putrefaction. Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness. Slayer, Raining Blood. That's it. There are a lot of 9.5 points.
Hell Awaits.
But
what about Hell Awaits?
No. It's no. 9.5. 9.5.
9.5. Okay. I thought you were
saying
Show No Mercy, maybe.
Only old.
Because if there's an introduction which you have to, skip,
right?
The album is not perfect then.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if you have to skip a song, right, it's not a perfect album. Or if there's a weak song in the middle.
Albums are those 4.
Sure. I think everyone has their own favorites.
Of course.
At the end of the year, everyone does their top 10. I can't do a top 10 because I don't have top 10. I listen to Ozzy records in the middle of from 1982 in the middle of the year. So like, there's no top 10 for me, like I realized that recently. It's like, yes, I will listen to the Rot Pit demo, or yes, I will snag up on the Malignant Altar record. But it's like, I don't feel like, okay, this is my 2021 top 10 picks. I think that these are records I'm going to be listening to for a long time and not just some number or special, you know what I mean? I just don't, maybe I'm against it suddenly. Years ago, maybe not so much, but now it's just like, I don't want to rate bands and say, these are the best bands of this year, because it's like, there are 30 bands this year. There are 100 bands. There are 4 bands sometimes. There's sometimes not even 10 good bands, my opinion.
Everything goes with the flow, with the emotion. Today, I feel like listening to, let's say, Alice in Chains. Tomorrow, Red Hot Chili Peppers sounds better. And the day after that, Darkthrone sounds better.
Yes, exactly. I was listening to Godflesh last night very heavily.
Oh, fuck, man. Broderick, man.
Yeah. So everything, or I was listening to Rolling Stones all week. So it is what it is. You like certain types of music.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
No.
I will.
You listen to Alice in Chains? IMMU?
Yeah, I was just listening to Dirt album just yesterday, so that's why I mentioned them.
I know. I'm only
But yeah,
busting. Yeah, cool.
I was gonna tell more about Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's bring that
is-
back up too. I want to talk about
Yeah.
the whole fest in general.
Is it
This the
okay?
flyer? Sure.
Yeah.
What's
So
the name of that first band again? Could you say that out loud? I know that's members of Necros Christos.
yes, they are called Sijin, but I'm not also completely sure about the pronunciation. That would be how I say it in Finnish style. Sijin. But yeah, it's quite different than Necros Christos. It's much more faster death metal, actually.
And you got Sadistic Intent from United States as one of your
Yes.
headliners here.
Yes.
I see Godforsaken too, who I know from the Finn scene.
True.
And you have Flame, Witchblood, Sickness, Caricature, Pertinence doing a whole set of Immortal Damnation only, huh?
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Super cool. So what did you want to say about Eternal Darkness? The Masters of Darkness.
I don't know if my voice and picture are on the same time at the moment, but
just
I'm
log
trying.
back out and log back in. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, just log out and log back in.
Okay.
Same link.
I do that.
Cool, man.
Yes.
We'll take your flyer down too, since you're out of here. Here, I'll kick you out, actually. I'll kick you out of the studio. There you go. So it's just me and you.
Yep.
So yeah, we didn't talk about some of the things you sent me. I'm just out of curiosity. You sent me some cool stuff. All right, there's IMMU. He's back with his Eternal Darkness record. Hold on, IMMU. I just want to talk to Kina. Can you talk to me about this?
This is a perma shoot for the book.
Oh, this is for the Finland book?
Yeah.
The new one? The black metal one or the death metal one?
The death metal book.
Okay.
I was just hanging around with guys, friends in the cabin and drinking beer and.
That's you?
Yeah.
You maniac. Were you filling up your mouth with
Yeah. I'm pretty used to do that with live bands and so on. So
a lot of Finland guys into camping.
Yeah.
You guys
up north hiking.
Hiking, okay. So you go on a hike and then you camp out too for the night?
For a week or two.
A week or two? Okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, and then any animals come out and try to eat you guys?
We only have reindeer in.
Oh, okay.
We don't have any bears. So we have bears and wolves, but they're pretty much when they hunch a human being, they run off.
Right.
So
okay, yeah, like the wolves don't come after you when you guys are in bunches.
In Finland, we have more like the gypsies are coming after you.
Oh, okay. Are they in the forest?
Pretty much.
Trying to sell you like magic potions? Yeah, but, like, you want to buy some jewelry? It's like, oh, sorry, I'm trying to do some camping. That's when you need that flamethrower, and then you just shoot it onto the gypsy. Fuck out of here.
Go away.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You just got to be careful you don't set your tent on fire, right?
Your own tent.
Yeah, your own tent. Doesn't matter the rest of the guys.
Yeah, but now in Finland you can pretty much hike everywhere without any disturbance from animals.
Cool, that's good. A lot of people talking about rat in the chat. I don't know why. You guys are posers. This is Finland death metal, man. No rat. Sorry, I banned you guys.
Only raids against posers.
Yeah.
RAP, raids against posers.
What about this?
Rape against posers.
What about you? Sent me. I want to talk about this.
Ah. Yeah,
What
this
is-
is the final, the last show I did with And Oceans.
Okay.
I was covering myself with blood and smeared in.
How many? How long you play with End Oceans for? I know that name.
Since the beginning, from '95 to last year.
And then Festerday has been active the entire time, or
Now we were active from '89 to '92, and then we created And Oceans.
okay.
But we did because of IMMU and the FDMM Fest, we did a comeback. Was it? I don't remember the year, but
Is this the lineup?
2015.
Is this the lineup now or back?
nah, this is the bass
The
player.
first edition.
Yeah,
First edition lineup.
Yeah. Both guitar players are in the same band, and the drummer is the same, but the rest is new people.
What is this cemetery that the photo is taken at? Because those tombstones, or I guess they're tombstones, right?
Local cemetery from where I used to live up in the north, and
They make the tombstones from metal.
yeah, it's an old cemetery from 16, 17.
Just show this again for the viewers. Amazing. It's amazing stuff, man. Because in America they make the tombstones from
Stone.
they make from stone. Tombstone. And then IMMU, we got this for your band, SLUGATHOR.
Hmm.
Here you are with some Maniacs. When is this photo from?
That photo is from 2003 or 2001. I don't remember. But we were drunk.
Who's in this photo? Is this the entire band, or?
Yeah, this is SLUGATHOR, and I'm the guy with the Infernal Majesty shirt. You see.
Who's that regular guy in the middle?
With the cap.
Tommy, he wrote all our songs. He was like the main composer. Tommy.
Oh shit!
With the cap.
He ain't so regular.
What's the main composer nowadays is the poser.
Yeah, but there is the guy with middle finger with the SLUGATHOR shirt. It's Antti, who formed Cadaveric Incubator later.
Yeah, and I spoke with Antti today. He was going to pop on, but he's busy recording in the studio for the new Cadaveric Incubator.
Okay.
Someone said Goat Perversion is the greatest EP ever.
They even released the split with Festerday.
Tico. That's a studio, right?
Yeah, that's a studio. Yeah.
SLUGATHOR, heavy.
Tico is actually the studio where all the 90s Finnish death black metal bands recorded and mastered all their stuff. From Sentence to Impel Nazarene, blah, blah, blah. And nowadays it's not really much used, but it's an active studio, and the guy who's still running it he does amazing work.
Cool.
Still today.
Yeah, we would see that as a Finnish demo collector. We would see, or even reading in the old fanzines, we would see we recorded at Tico Studio.
Yeah.
So and that name is familiar to me.
Even the new Azazel album was mastered at Tico. Okay. So that was a really cool old school addition for the album.
What city in Finland is that studio?
Up north.
In the north. Do you know? Kenna?
Up north. What city though? The name?
Kemi.
Okay.
Kemi.
Cool.
Yeah. I had also announcement because the guy from Church of Disgust asked about SLUGATHOR. in the chat, right? So if you want to hear, we have some surprise coming up.
Can we show the exclusive?
Yeah, another exclusive thing besides the Eternal Darkness announcement. But I'm sorry, SLUGATHOR is not going to play live. We are really not the live band anymore. But
thank God. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 2010 we started to record 4th album, and you know, for some shitty reasons, we never finished that damn thing. So for 10 years, it was just laying somewhere, and well, we didn't think that we would do anything about it, but we listened it again. And
so what was the album before that? Was that this one?
No, that's the second album, and that's the first one, Unleashing the SLUGATHOR. And you have the one with the red cover.
Yeah.
You have the one with the red cover.
Okay, that was the last album you guys recorded?
Yeah, Echoes from Beneath. And after that, in 2010, we really started to record 4th album, and we have this surprise coming up on Drucker Records, new SLUGATHOR album, Abysmal Renaissance. And if you, Roy, can show us the cover art, there is it. That's it.
What's the name of the album?
I'm not the perfect in pronunciation, but if you forgive me, Abysmal Renaissance.
Abysmal Renaissance.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just 6 songs, but 35 minutes. So full length. We thought first that it would be only an EP, but the songs turned so long that it's full length.
Church of Disgust said he's going to crush everything. He knows.
But who said something about the Karma? No, they are real drums.
Okay, there's your answer. The real drums.
Right. What about Ugra Karma? Is it the real?
Yeah, kid. I heard you mocking me. Your band.
But I have an announcement, if we have to say.
Yes.
My latest album is coming out 28th of this month.
And that's this, right? Your album?
Yeah, The Mist from the Mountains.
Yeah. So this is the band.
Yeah.
That's Christoph Shustapel drew your logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize his work. Beautiful logo, man. Excellent.
But it's old school black metal in the vein of, old school.
So here's the cover to your album.
Almost.
So here's the cover to your album, actually. Let me see here. Brought this down a little line. Hold on 1 sec. Sorry about that. Death Metal Podcast fucks up. Where the fuck is your album here? Let me see. This it?
Yeah, this is one. Yeah.
This is one of your albums, or this is the album?
This is the album. Yeah.
Okay, this is the album.
And debut also.
Yeah.
Oh, a debut album.
Yeah.
So who plays in this band? Some guys from Festerday or some other guys?
We're totally different guys. The drummer from Algazant and guitar player from Diablerie and the bass player from Diablerie and the vocalist from Black Beast, also the owner of Primitive Reaction label.
Awesome. Shout out to Primitive Reaction and traded with them.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Awesome. And that comes out when?
28th this month.
Okay. What record label? Primitive Reaction?
Yeah. Primitive Reaction.
Cool.
We don't have the release date for the SLUGATHOR album yet because we are still like mixing the vocals and stuff. So it's not completely finished, but it's like almost ready. So for sure we know that it's gonna come, but probably CD this year and vinyl next year. We all know why, because we have huge delays in vinyl pressing at the moment.
Yeah, of course. So also you had this band too, which I had this at some point.
Yeah, Evoked Curse.
This is
kind of like
pre-SLUGATHOR, right?
No, this is different members. It was
Okay.
the same guys as in Satanic Torment, and yeah,
Cool. Man.
Evoked Curse played like black thrash stuff, and
Right.
then we did also some death metal with this Hostis Humani Generis.
Right.
Very old school death metal, like Non-Slaughter, you know.
That's this, right?
Yes, that one.
This is the cassette version on, it says UD Records. That's what label? Unholy Death?
Unholy Domain.
Sorry. Shout out to
Unholy Decisions.
Yes, I think Unholy Domain is one of Keno's favorite releases by Demigod, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, and I also had this band called Satanic Torment. We just made
Torvi.
Yeah, this is a live CD. I hope we will make a cassette version because I would prefer tape, you know.
And then there's
nowadays.
These things too. Is this the band that you guys both playing?
No,
that's the Satanic Torment.
Only Azazel. Yeah, Satanic Torment is I'm just a drummer, but in Azazel, yes. And Kena was just a kind of guest, so we don't know if he's gonna join next time. Maybe, but we haven't really thought that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Time shall tell.
Very cool cover. Chris Moyen.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Chris Moyen.
Yeah.
He's a friend of Kena.
I've been working with Chris Moyen with a lot of my different projects since '88 or something.
Cool.
I've been visiting him a couple of times to France, and yeah, I could say he's a friend of mine.
He's a good guy. He did some artwork for me for Incantation releases.
Incantation.
And, there's going to be exclusive new Incantation artwork, I think, for something new coming out. So Chris Moyen's the man.
Yeah, yes. Definitely. Goat Lord.
He's the goat.
He's the goat. Yeah.
The god of all.
But Roy, the band also, Goat Lord and Purtenons from Finland, also at my fest with the Moyen cover, member of Immortal Damnation album.
Yeah.
So.
And the Archgoat cover you did, right?
Archgoat. Yes. Always Archgoat.
Yeah. You got the CD version. I'm used to seeing the record.
I have the LPs as well, but maybe I thought that it's kind of stressful to have so many records besides me. So
the guy from Demigod, the guy from I think he played drums for Archgoat. He was playing Thomas. He was playing drums for guitar for Demigod in the United States for Maryland Death Fest. And I got to meet I met him before, but I got to meet Essa, the vocals for Demigod. Very nice guy. And then I hung out with Thomas. Did you say I'm saying it right?
Yeah.
And my friend had made weed banana bread.
Okay.
And then he said to me, hey, can you get me some weed, you know? And I said, yeah, I can get you some weed. So he gives me some money. So festival is not as big as Party Song, but festival is big enough that I don't see him till like the next day, you know? So I see him the next day. He's like, oh, finally I catch up with you, you know? I gave you the money, the weed. I said, well, here is your breakfast. And he just stares at the banana bread and he's like, what the fuck is this? I said, eat this and I will see you in 2 hours. And then a couple hours later, I seen him and he was so happy. He was like, thank you. Stone
to the ground.
I was also eating heavily amounts of banana bread, and shout out to Nate for the banana bread. All right, here's a couple questions coming in too. And yes, Archgoat rule. What's up, brother? This is my man who helped stream some shows for Death Metal Podcast. Cheers. can we talk about Turku Renetrat's art? Importance of the Comeback Records store? Depravity. So he did the art on that.
Yes, he did.
All right.
I have to say that this one is also one of my favorite Finnish death metal releases. It's quite melodic and dark, but at the same time brutal. You know, where the guys were quite musicians, good musicians already back then, and you can really hear. Of course, some other guys were too, like Demigod dudes or Cartilage, Rotten Sound, Vomitory. Yeah, there are of course many good musicians, but in Depravity,
I remember just on a side note, I remember I wrote a letter to Lubricant, and I still have it. And it's one of the first letters, maybe second letter. And I said something about
Panda. Paldenius.
I think
Panda
so.
vocals. Yeah.
And I said to him, "Hey, U.S. bands like Rochevore," and then he wrote me back a letter. He said, "I don't like them," and I'm like, "Oh wow, okay." Hey, at least he was honest. I like, you know.
But did you know that the guitarist from Depravity started Sonata Arctica? That's quite musical difference is huge because it's power metal and a very big name all around the world. Sonata
I noticed
Arctica.
a big musical difference for that other band from Sweden. The guy did Macrodex, and he has a band now that's completely, more commercialized, symphonically, like different. A lot of death metal musicians change. I like when they change the band name, when they change the sound of the bands, like especially a heavy sound. And if they keep the name and then they don't play the heavy sounds, it's like kind of like disappointing. Yeah. And then I don't listen to them anymore. After that, I just think about their old stuff.
And
do you know? Do you know?
Sorry,
you know this band from Sweden called Ghost?
Ghost, yeah. I mean, I knew Repugnant.
Yeah, but before that, before Tobias was in a band, before Repugnant in 89, 90, he made a really dark black metal demo. I don't remember. It wasn't Treblinka, but something in the vein of Treblinka.
Oh, wow.
And he made, was it 50 copies of that demo? And it was like kind of stuff. And then they changed it to Repugnant. And actually, our bass player was a good friend of Tobias when they were studying together.
I know him too.
And he had
I knew him, let's say like this.
He
Not
had
anymore.
This kind of, vision back in 2001 that someday I'm going to break through and make a really big album. And Ghost is the one.
Yeah. What about I got a demo. Maybe this is Swedish or Finnish. Satanic Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote with that band too back in 91.
I have met one of their members completely drunk in some park with the guys from Rytmihäiriö.
Cool.
Yeah. It's
someone asking about
already a while ago. It's already a while ago, maybe 20 years ago or something.
Someone asking about, let's see. Hold on a second.
The guy from
majority of Finnish bands got weak.
True. But hey, it's good thing that, for example, FESTERDAY, they just quit and they didn't release any shit. And when they started to feel like death metal again, then it was total death metal. That's a cool attitude, I think. Like if you change the style, like Amorphis.
Right,
Amorphis not for me. My last Amorphis album is Elegy. That's I think it's okay album, but for sure the first two
Amorphous should have changed names.
Yeah.
Someone said Genesis too.
Karelian Isthmus, of course, it's a perfect record, and Tales from the Thousand Lakes also.
But that's it.
Yes.
I never even made it to those records. I liked Abhorrence, and then I heard the split that was supposed to be the split of Incantation. It became the Privilege of Evil, and then
Privilege of Evil is the best
heard the first record.
history.
Yeah, lightly heard the first record of. I used to be friendly with the guys from Relapse, so sometimes I would hear some early, either Nuclear Blast Relapse or early Relapse stuff, and they play me lightly the first album of Amorphous, and I said, "Wow, what a big change!" You know, this is not really what I listen to, and I think I still have my friend Ronnie Dio from Incantation CD. It's up in my CD collection over there. He lent it to me because he said he didn't like it.
But then again, if you think of things as a band, you have to evolve and develop.
Of course.
I think that's a good thing.
I think in their case, the evolution from the Privilege of Evil to that album, like they didn't need to change their name at all. They were, still doing a good sound.
Genre anyway.
Yeah, they were still doing a good sound.
It's a different thing if you compare the 90s Amorphis to today's Amorphis.
Yeah,
right.
I kind of accept that.
Right. You think about Panthera from the beginning of 80s to the 90s Panthera. Totally different band.
Yeah. What about Zizma?
Zizma, yeah, I was just gonna mention them.
They had a very big style change.
Yeah, but that I can accept. I mean, they went step by step. They got into Black Sabbath and some rock stuff. Yeah. So that was acceptable change in music. I have more disgust to this too much keyboards and too much female vocals, or it's just not my cup of tea. And well, if I think about Festerday and Oceans, it's also a good thing that they guys realized that at that point they wanted to make black metal. So it would have been stupid to keep up with the death metal thing and just stick to it if it didn't feel good anymore. And people are asking why the bands changed. There's a simple answer. I think Kenna can answer much better. But if you think like year 1994, maybe some last death metal kind of things was released in 1995. After that, the whole scene was completely dead, and all the guys in Finland, they thought that they have nothing to offer anymore. Maybe Kenna can explain better, but maybe from the American perspective, it's hard to understand. But it felt that the whole thing is like.
Wait, before you answer that, was there a reason for that? Because did they take away the funding for the free rehearsal rooms or whatever?
I can answer this. 93 was kind of a counterpoint for everything was with metal in Finland. The grunge thing was heavily imported to Finland, and guys were, finding new girlfriends and moved on to universities and shit like that, and kind of stopped making music. But the only music that was living at that moment in the underground was black metal, and it's still living. And black metal kind of had a bigger importance in the whole Finnish genre. The impact of black metal was bigger than death metal. Death metal was big in the underground for 2, 3, 4 years. That's it. But nowadays, black metal is like in Norway. You can see 50-year-old mothers with their children with Beherit t-shirt.
Wow, cool. Get a picture of that for me if you can. I would like to see that.
Do you know Roy Baratrum? That I saw
sure.
the shirt. Yeah,
definitely.
because you remember I asked the drummer from FESTERDAY to join this podcast.
Yeah.
He was unfortunately he couldn't make it, but the funny thing, he's also a drummer of Barathrum.
Okay.
So
and they formed back then around that time, right? Like early 90s.
He was not the drummer in Barathrum in the 90s.
No, he's one of the newer members.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, and actually, if you take a look to Barathrum, it's only Demonos Sova who is the original.
Oh, okay.
Like, just like in Impe Nazarin, it's Mika Luttinen. And in Azazel, it's Satanakia, the singer. And, but if to have a look, last year, Barathrum played at Finnish Death Metal Maniacs. Actually, they also played the second edition. But anyway, last year they played, and that was a brilliant gig. I mean, they played mostly only the old stuff from the early 90s, one song from the new album, and then 2 songs from Legions of Perkele. That was almost the set. And and I think, well, I don't know if Kenna said it directly, but death metal and black metal have worked so much together. That's the reason why I also wanted to bring bands like Archgoat and Barathrum to my death metal fest, because it's kind of like same period and partly even same guys, and
is it the same scene over there? Because in the United States, the black metal scene, the death metal scene, just a little bit different.
Yeah, it depends.
There is a crossover, but not completely.
Yes, Roy, if you take a look at, for example, the organizers of Helsinki Death Fest, I don't want to say anything bad about them or whatever, but I would say that they are just in the death metal.
Right.
But I'm also playing in a black metal band like Kenna, and you can imagine that, of course, we do have some different ideas about things.
There's a lot of mix of death metal, black metal, even in grindcore. Like they're all mixed together, and thrash, I guess, if there's bands that do thrash. There's a big mix of a little of everything.
Yes.
And even on here, even though it's death metal podcast, we end up talking about all these bands because they're very relevant together as a scene.
Yeah. But we probably, for example, react to Steelfest cancellations very differently, just because our past.
Right.
And they take this thing completely differently than us. It's not the main point, but anyway, like when we have the black metal influence, for sure, our twist to this whole thing is a bit different. We also had a black metal band before SLUGATHOR. It was called Profundus, and we only released one demo. But in the late 90s, we thought that we wanted to do something really anti-trendy, because even black metal was kind of getting, it was just Dimmu Borgir and Cradlefield and all these bands getting a bit too commercial. So when we started SLUGATHOR, actually there was not death metal. Death metal was totally dead. I only know few bands like Deep Red and Torso Fuck and Devilry. Devilry was also one of the, like making D-side style back then.
Yeah, there was like a little shift too of, I would say like 93, 94, 95, where you kind of had like gore grind, like gore grind type bands. And like for so many years, I mean, I feel like I listened to that more than I listened to even death metal during those years.
Yeah, I kind of had that period as well. Bands like Discords, Deeds of Flesh.
The more brutal death metal.
Yeah.
As they call it. Everything has some kind of fucking special stupid name to it. It's like brutal death metal, grindcore. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes
One of
the
the
bands have the
one
same
of the
elements in music.
one of the terms I really hate it is OSDM,
Right.
because I know what it means, but I just want to hear the whole thing, old school death metal. Why you have to make some,
My
this sort
most hated word is proto.
yeah.
Proto metal.
We
Like, what
actually
does that
invite
mean? Proto to what?
exactly.
Proto
We
to Led Zeppelin? Proto to Caius? Proto to what? Proto to Sir Lord Baltimore?
and we wanted to be uh, regressive instead of progressive. So that's why we call SLUGATHOR regressive death metal, like going back in time, or no, not making death metal more technical or more. How do I
What
can't
about
explain.
today? They call a whole genre of metal HM2.
I
Yeah,
have no idea. Never heard.
it's
Never
more
heard
like
that.
a Swedish version of everything.
It's
Yeah.
I use the Entomb pedal version of
But instead of going to HM2, is like a lot of bands in Finland nowadays. The younger ones are going back to the roots and thinking more about analog things.
right, maybe shittier equipment.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see that new release of Demilage? It's put in very weird format. Nesbitt album on this kind of big tape,
Reel to reel.
reel to reel. Yeah, I didn't even know that this format exists because it's so rare and forgotten.
Same with mini disc. I saw they try to
Yeah,
release that. I thought that was just a joke, but I guess that really happened.
it's serious. It's serious. Only few people probably even have the player to listen it. But
Yeah, I
they
don't have
said
that.
that. Yeah, they said that at least the sound quality is better than on actual cassettes. But
I think
Hifi,
it's
whatever.
a little novelty-ish.
Yeah, that's more like a hi-fi thing. You don't hear it as a person. It's more if you have meters to track it up.
Yeah, it
But
looks like reminds me of the tapes that they
person's
record.
ear cannot hear the difference. Actually, the
Somebody
same
asked
thing
a
with
question.
the digital cassettes, which was they were popular for a year or two in the mid '90s, early '90s. The laser discs, they came
yeah.
in for a year and two and just vanished.
Someone has a question here. What the hell is it? Hold on, these go fast. Is Black Dawn still around?
Yeah, the new album is coming out this year.
Cool. Hail Finland from Cardiac Arrest. Cheers. Anyone think The Last Dismember is their best one?
Which one is the last?
I didn't know which one was the last either.
Is the
Piece-
Dismember?
You mean Pieces? That was the last for me.
No, the Dismember.
No, Death Metal. That record was good.
Dismember made a really good album. I think it was called Dismember,
Mm.
which has a lot of Iron Maiden influences on the guitar sound.
That's probably why I didn't hear it.
But it's actually fucking good.
Yeah, maybe I'll give that I should give that a go. I try to go back. I try to go back to the records of people that I said like I didn't hear that, because I heard Murder Squad,
Yeah.
which I love, and but as Dismember moved along, I think like Pieces probably was where I stopped listening to Dismember a little bit. I wanted more Carnage, but they only gave us demos and an album.
Yeah, Dismember came out with the last album they did was Dismember 2008, and that's the one which has a lot of influences from Iron Maiden guitar stuff, and it's really fucking heavy and really fucking good. And I think the new upcoming Dismember album, I haven't heard anything about it, but I think if I know these guys, they're not gonna pull up anything.
No. They're professional dismemberers. So we can make an announcement too, since we got them in the chat. Yeah, Johnny from Eternal Darkness. So they're going to be joining this Finnish Death Metal Maniacs Fest Volume 4 in July 2020. And this is the final lineup. He's going to grab his Eternal Darkness. So yeah, this is the second reunion show of Eternal Darkness. So you guys heard it here. So cheers to this man right here.
Terve Janne.
Couldn't make it on the chat today, but he couldn't make it on the show, but he's in the chat.
Yeah. Hölkyn kölkyn, Janne. Ja make.
There you go. And see, he's got the record. And everyone, I think that's an excellent addition.
Yeah.
Excellent addition to your fest.
Yes, because Sadistic Intent is personally maybe my favorite death metal band. And I was so lucky with them, because they're playing in Denmark the same weekend. And I just contacted Killtown Bookings. I got them. I got Sadistic Intent. And I had the unfortunate cancellation of Pentacle. But I kind of knew that, Eternal Darkness, I have been writing so long time with them, Janne and Make. Like since 2014, I always tried to get them to play. So I'm just really happy to have exactly these two, Sadistic Intent and Eternal Darkness, on same thing. I mean, I think it sounds even absurd, it's too good to be true. Let's hope that the COVID shit will not fuck up this one. But yeah, Morbid Fate. The split.
Sure.
Ungod.
Yeah, that guy used to call me on the telephone. From Germany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in another band too. I don't remember the name right this moment.
And my favorite Finnish, Rippikoulu.
That's the second demo cover, right?
No, you have them wrong way around.
Oh.
That was the first demo, and Musta Ceremonia is the second demo.
Oh, actually. Wow. Interesting. Did not know that. Yeah. So you learn something new every day.
So, but yeah, if you listen to that Ulvaja
EP, dildo says DMP exclusive.
If you listen to that later Rippikoulu stuff, that 2014 EP, it's quite different, kind of funeral doomish. But I know that if they would make new record now, it would be again death metal. But I don't know if they will or not. It's a mystery. Everything around Rippikoulu is complete mystery. They come or not, and but have to say that they have been loyal to my festival because they played at each edition.
Every edition?
Every edition of Finnish Death Metal Maniacs. And last year, 2021, it was their only concert. Imagine. They didn't play anything else. And
the people.
They're in our chat, which is cool, man. Cheers to them. Finland edition. I'm trying to go live for Death Metal Podcast during the day a little bit on. I had to choose a day to do this. It's nighttime for you guys, but it's daytime for US. Because I felt that there was not enough, I wanted to talk to more European people and Finnish people, Swedish, maybe even Russian. It seems like I'm pretty close to an Australian time difference sometimes, maybe a Japanese one, but I could not seem to get a good time difference for Death Metal Podcast to be live in Europe at the same time. So it was good today to go earlier live. Normally, I don't know what I'm doing at this time, but I know that I thought that it would be smart maybe in the future to try to, because there's so many bands that I like from Europe and I like from Sweden, I like from Finland, UK, etc. So I feel like I want to get some of them to be on the live cast with us so they could talk about their releases, plug their bands, plug their festivals, plug their shows. And even if they want to rehearse or do a rehearsal or something, we could play it live on here, like we did in Bomber, you know? So shout out to everyone out there that check this out too. I'm not shutting it off right now. I'm just wanted to say that because there's a lot of watchers today, which is cool. I appreciate everybody that checks this out. And if you want to, I hate plugging, but if you want, we got an Instagram where I announced this baloney. And then this is the YouTube channel. And we're live on Twitch as well. So yeah, that was my commercial time.
It's okay.
I mean, sometimes you just want to let people know, like, hey, next Sunday I might be on with Germany. I don't know.
Yes.
You know? And this is a spontaneous, like I do this very spontaneously. I don't make big announcements about who's going to be on. Because like a festival, I might invite 25 bands, but only 12 show up.
Yeah, I was lucky with my first edition. Then all the bands came, all the 25 bands.
Wow.
I thought that probably somebody is going to cancel. No cancellations at all. No.
It was a big thing back in the days when you arranged that first one, the first edition. It was actually kind of a reunion for every old school death metal bands in Finland.
It was important for the Finland scene, right?
And
yes,
that's one of the triggers why I started to write the book about the whole fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
And so many visitors from abroad as well, from Europe. Few Americans, I think. Matt from Dark Descent Records came. That was amazing. Like he traveled all the way to see the Finnish bands, and I
wanted to go.
Yeah.
I mean, first when I saw it,
understand.
I was like, I want to go to this. I want to go to this. I want to go to that Swedish show that had Entombed as the headliner. Like a lot of those seem interesting to me.
I was there as well in that ferry.
Town seems interesting to me. Like I'm like, I want to go. I went to the only time I've been over is I went to Obscene Fest in 2006 when Dismember and Gut were headliner.
Obscene is that's a devastating experience.
It's great. I had a great time. I didn't know, again, very spontaneous, like went there, didn't know where I was staying. All the hotels are booked. And we'd just buy a tent, and then me and my friend took turns when we did sleep. We didn't sleep the whole time though, because we were buying those little fake little chips, where you get that and you give those for the Czech beer, And we just drank till I don't even know. Like I remember being Obscene Fest, and it was early in the daytime. We had been up all night, and I saw a man pissing in his cup. I think it was what's his face? I can't think of his name. My friend who passed away from stillbirth, actually, he was like pissing in his cup, and they were going to drink it. And I'm like, I'm out of here. This is enough for me, man. I was like, all right, I'm done partying. I'm not drinking my own piss at the stage. Yeah. Maybe they were just joking, but it was pretty funny. We were in the beer tent, But yeah.
Let's go to sleep.
Somebody went to FDMM is one of the best shows I ever saw. That's coming from an Italian fan right there.
Kiitos. Grazie.
Ripikulu King said, and 2015 edition was big thing for Finnish death metal scene. Sure. Yep, I didn't say it. Thank COVID for these streams. I don't know. Hails to Finland from England. The guys from Finland are falling asleep because they just woke. They had a whole day of watching their children, probably, But I just woke up, so. I'm ready to stay up all night and do this 7 hours.
We're going back to work like in 8 hours.
Yeah.
Roy, guess what was happening today prior to this podcast?
You tell me.
My daughter's birthday party.
Oh,
she turned 11. So
congratulations.
there was a lot of kids here. Yeah, it was fun.
Congratulations, man. Yeah, kids grow up fast. I'm about to be a grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah, my daughter is 25, so she's with child right now. And I guess in May, I'll be a grandfather, Roy Fox.
Cool.
With a Morbid Angel t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't have. Yeah, I'll wear that to the. Yeah, I don't have to be fake around my family. They know and kind of live through. I mean, you can't hide. That's one of the things I have a problem with some death metalers, that they leave the death metal scene because they feel that they can't show their children, or I'm not into this anymore because my wife does not like this music. It's like my wife does not like death metal either.
Or if the people you're hanging around with or your family doesn't support what you do, then you have to change the family.
Yeah, maybe.
My parents never appreciated what I did back in the younger days with death metal and black metal, graveyard shit and burning churches. But nowadays they understand my rebellion kind of thing to this, because the history of the church in Finland and in Scandinavia has a really big impact. And even my grandparents have left the church because of my actions.
Oh, wow. Interesting. They realize the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
My grandma is turning 99 this year, and she left the church last year.
You should go by and burn it.
Yeah. The only problem in Finland is that all the churches are made of stone. So
Gotcha.
Not like in Norway back in the days when everything was wood.
Yeah. That was a joke anyway. Anybody out there? The Finnish.
Don't take everything seriously.
We're not very serious on here. And we're not very technical either. There's a lot of people. Does anyone in the chat have any questions for these guys, either about SLUGATHOR, the festival, the bands, this, Mist in the Mountains? Any questions in the chat?
I have a question.
Okay.
It came from Facebook, sorry, so you can't see it. It was like, if I have some dream bands to join my festival.
Yeah. What would your dream bands be? Would they be for the Finnish festival?
Yeah, but if I could choose any bands, because anyway, this year I have Sadistic Intent, so why not to choose also bands from abroad? I think I would choose Sarcophago from Brazil, and like old style version of Beherit. It's impossible. It's impossible, but yeah. And what else? Of course, I wish I don't know. Even Seppo showed a little the interest to show this to drop by joining us to this death metal podcast. So
yeah, Seppo from Demigod.
Yeah, if Demigod would just make one gig, I would be headbanging so much. But I already was. I saw them 10 years ago at the festival in Helsinki. So not my. I mean, if I wouldn't see anymore, I wouldn't mind that much. But to other people who still haven't seen them, Demigod is just so important. So there you go. Demigod.
How about the collector of Brazilian black metal albums? What would your ideal festival be to see in Finland?
What would you like to see, Kenna?
If I would, I've seen most, let's say, 99.99 of all the death metal bands in the world anyway. But reformation of the old school Xysma would be really nice to see.
Yeah,
But
there
that
was
did
some.
not happen. I just made an interview with Xysma the other day, and the new album is rock and roll.
Rock stuff. But wasn't it so that Kenna, you spoke with the guys and you kind of tried to convince them to play even a 20-minute set of the death metal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least you tried. I asked them also. I would be happy to have Xysma even with the half rock set, but they again see they just turned down my offer.
Going to let them do that shit, and they're good friends of mine. And we with Festival, we played a festival 4 years ago, and we made a cover of Xysma from the first EP, and the vocalist came on stage as a co-vocalist with me.
Cool.
And it took me 2 years to get him on stage to do growls.
Who was that? Janitor?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
But it was fun.
Yeah, Kenna, because you're kind of from same areas and same scenes, I got another question from my Russian friend.
Yeah, I got to take a piss. You guys can speak amongst yourself for a second.
Yeah. Привет, Anton. So Anton asked, what can you tell about the band Cartilage? How well you knew them, and did you hang out with those guys? You know, like the drummer who joined later, Rotten Sound. He's a really big in the music business nowadays. But yeah, just, you know, in general, if you can tell some experiences about Cartilage band.
I'm still in contact with the Cartilage guys almost every day, with the vocalist who actually runs the label called Woodcut Records nowadays.
Yes,
and
I know.
The bass player used to play in a band called Throes of Dawn, and he's running a label nowadays called Skeethund Records, and we are together releasing a lot of electronic music. And the Cartilage guys, well, Kai Hahto, the drummer, is nowadays in Nightwish. But yeah, we have a really good contact with all the guys in the band still today, and very good musicians. And well, I have nothing else to say. That fucking great.
I'm sure he's happy with even this answer. Yeah, I tried to convince Mickey also to play, and there was some small interest. I think Kari, the guitar player, and Mickey was into playing, but then it was the drummers' schedules which were a bit complicated. And you know, you don't just grab drummer like that, you know.
Cartilage without Kai Hahto,
yeah,
it's not. Forget about it.
And it's technically it's impressive. I mean, I don't think most can play stuff that well like I mean, it's not quite different than most of the common death metal Finnish bands. I mean, if you listen to Amorphis' first album or this stuff, okay, Sentence may be a bit complicated too, but parts, but most of that stuff is pretty basic, not that technical.
But that era of death metal in Finland, it was like Sentence and Cartilage. Those were the two ones with excellent drummers.
Yeah, maybe that was the difference. And if you compare to Sodomatic Slaughter of Beherit, it's like two different words. Greetings to Jari. Yeah, Jari lives close to me. Sodomatic Slaughter. I don't know if he's gonna watch this podcast.
Actually, a neighbor of mine, because
yeah.
we live pretty much close. next door.
Yeah. So we didn't get the Beherit, so I just asked Witchcraft to play the first edition of Finnish Death Metal Maniacs. And actually, Holocausto himself commented, this is much better than what Beherit would be like. He for him, Beherit Reunion is, he has too high standards for them. It's I mean, it's kind of like reunion live show for Beherit. Maybe he thinks that it's just.
Beherit actually had a reunion gig just before COVID in Thailand.
Yeah, I heard something about it, but it was
a DJ set.
Yeah. So that's
DJ
different.
Gamma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he play all Beherit songs?
Yeah. He was a DJ guy playing his own material from the old days.
That was a reunion set. Interesting.
But they're also kind of a Beherit with with all the corpse paint and blood and spikes and shit. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, just forget it. I mean, it would have already happened if it was due to happen.
Maybe somebody was asking about Protected Illusion, Terrific Verdict, National Napalm Syndicate.
NNS is actually being reformed.
Yeah, and Sacred Crucifix as well. They are gonna play at my festival. Sacred Crucifix. I think I gotta go to sauna really soon myself. I'm gonna say hi, bye. Sorry to everybody. Right. But before that, not yet. I tell one more thing. Santa Lucia, I asked them to reform for a heavy metal festival 2011. It's all female band. Santa Lucia, really great.
I wasn't familiar with that.
Very nice people. Yeah,
there's a question too. Nobody mentioned Disgrace.
Disgrace was really fucking good.
Awesome.
Disgrace is actually
very heavy.
Disgrace guys are pretty much the same guys as in Xusma. They had the same rehearsal room. They bred the same fucking airline and counter-joined each other, overlapped when the guitar player was sick, the bass player was taking over.
I think they both influenced each other, kind of.
Yeah.
And they both
recorded Disgrace in 1992. I was in contact with Jukka from Disgrace, and I was very heavily listening to the 7-inch from Seraphic Decay, and then the Grey Misery, and then he had sent me an additional record of it was like called The Bride's Wedding Dress or something.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, put out a record with my record label. So we signed a contract, and then he sent me a reel-to-reel recording and a cassette tape of a unreleased Disgrace. And when I got the music, I decided not to put it out because it was not
totally different.
It wasn't completely different, but it was different enough that I didn't think that I wanted to put it out as Necroharmonic. I wanted to, I guess I was expecting something like Grey Misery style riffs and playing or something, but I got something that had like rock in it.
Yeah, it was going more like the Xusma thing was going towards the more grunge kind of a riffing, and also with this kind of a more rock and roll type of attitude to a more like a fuck off metal.
Yeah, it was called Autumn Sabbath. That was supposed to be the 7-inch, and I actually had advertised that it was going to come out, and I still have it in a reel-to-reel box. It'll be 30 years old actually, and I never released it, and it didn't make it onto the Disgrace compilation. So it's 2 CDs they put out with all the demos and all the old stuff. It's not even on there.
No. I really enjoyed the volume 2 stuff from Disgrace. I think it was really great. Quite different than the Grey Misery, more Black Sabbath style.
Yeah, Grey Misery was awesome, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so Ken, are you still gonna stay?
I'm gonna hit the fucking Bed.
Yeah, I have to go to sauna and to sleep.
These
I have
death
a work.
metalers are of the younger generation, so they have to go to bed. The older generation.
No,
So they got to
but
go to bed
work,
now.
Roy, work tomorrow and stuff. And
Oh, I
kids
know. You guys
sleeping.
work.
Okay.
I
So
don't work.
thank you.
So, yeah, it's just a goodbye. We'll just show you your flyer. This is the new lineup. Check it out. Appreciate these guys for coming on. Don't forget about this.
Yeah. Thank you, Roy.
And everybody
Thank you,
that
Roy.
tuned in today, appreciate it for Death Metal Podcast. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
And Roy, thanks for inviting us.
Cool, man. Prop up your local scene. Go to your shows. Support these bands on their band camps. Buy some tickets for the Finland Death Metal Maniacs Fest.
Necropsy.
Get a
Greetings.
Necropsy shirt for yourself.
Greetings to them also.
Go camping and don't get eaten. Don't forget.
Okay.
Catch up, guys.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So that's another edition of Death Metal Podcast. Very cool Finland death metal freaks. Appreciate it, Sam. Long live Finland death metal. So definitely cool guys. Awesome episode of Death Metal Podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in during the day. We're probably gonna have more daycast stuff. If you didn't get to check this out, you can go back to the beginning for the YouTube playback. Here's the YouTube channel. Here's the plug, baloney. It's YouTube, Death Metal Podcast. All right, everybody. Appreciate you for being in the chat and asking good questions.